This is a new song for anyone who's ever been alone in the city.
So you find yourself at the subway. Here comes the train.
That's some song you got there. I want to make records with you.
You can't take back.
Are you really an A&R man? You just look more like a homeless man.
I like the idea of getting an A&R man who is struggling with the film industry. Sorry, let's start that again. Cut, take two. So what appealed to me about this story was that you take an A&R man who's struggling in the music industry, which is obviously changing more than, or as much as any industry, but you know, and it's 2014, he's an old school guy who used to go to, you know, drive off to see bands in the Valley and New York and London and try and find this sound, and you know, and that's changed, and that's not how it works anymore. So he's a guy who's sort of a little bit of a dinosaur. And the one person that he manages to meet in New York one night is her, who's a tricky, angry English girl who's not a great performer, who's reluctant, who's been stung by the music industry herself, but she's all he's kind of got, in a way, if that doesn't sound like a South Park episode. This is all you've got. And together they sort of realize that they're kind of not two parts of a treasure map or anything, but that they have to be together in order to sort of beat the demons that are on their back and do this little thing together, this little project, which is record a record around the streets of New York. And it's about compromise, and it's about two people who have two very different ways of seeing the world and seeing the music industry, and how they will actually get comfortable on the same couch together and actually produce something. I kind of moved over to New York about 3 or 4 months before the film, sort of for a reason, because I didn't want it to be, my experience of New York up until then had always been either work or holiday, and was looking up at things and pointing and being mugged and all the rest of it. And I wanted to go and fall off my bike, and I wanted to go and get my bike stolen, and I wanted to go and live in a shitty walk-up in the Lower East Side, and I wanted to know where to get the best Thai food or the best, you know, and actually not be bullshitting when I was making this film. And I knew that New Yorkers will smell the second they go, oh really, that master shot of Fifth Avenue craning down into Washington Square Park and around to find some extras pretending to be New Yorkers, you know. And so I wanted to go and sort of feel it and fast track, and I did. I kind of fast tracked my life a little bit, and sort of concertinaed 10 years into, you know, half a year or whatever. But through that, I think you do learn where to point the camera and where's the interesting location and what's the beauty of this city that isn't just your generic stock footage, wide angles. There's a different beauty in New York, which is sort of, you start to learn after a few months. Like anywhere, you have to go there and you have to live there and you have to know how to pay the rent and where you get your eggs and your milk and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully the film will do well, and really, it's not about awards, or, I mean, to be honest, it's not really about any of those things. It really is a film that came from quite a personal place of my own experience in the music industry and of singer-songwriters I knew that were struggling. And it was really just a sort of a movie about the creation of music and how that works and how does an album get recorded. And for me, that's the ultimate sort of love affair in a way, is creating something with somebody, whether it's a baby or an album or whatever it is, but that you create something new in the world and you sort of present that.
That's what I love about music. It's where magic happens.